Hello, 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 and welcome to News Tower. I'm Evie Greenbottle, and I am so excited that this game is in early access now. So, I have played the demo of this game before, but I have never played the full game, and I am super excited to give it a go. Now, in this game, we have inherited a newspaper from an uncle, I believe, and we are now making our own story here with the Green Bottle Express, and hopefully we can get some papers out and become the next New York newspaper mogul. So here is our building. We are tucked in between a hotel and the Brooklyn Trust Company, and we have this cute little building that we can add floors to, which we almost definitely will need to, and we can start building straight away. Now we're gonna need a few things. We're gonna need a staircase to get up from one floor to the next. We're going to need some walls in here, a few things that we're gonna need. One being a printing room over there. We're also going to need a bathroom, so I'm just gonna stick in a couple of walls to get us started here. That's gonna be the bathroom down there. That's gonna be our printing room. Hopefully that's big enough, but we can always move the wall at any time. And we're gonna need some reporters' desks, so we need to get reporters in so they can find us stories. Now, on a single page of your newspaper, you need 3 stories, so I kind of feel like we need 3 reporters, but let's just start with 2. Oh, it's blinking at us that we're in the dark. We probably should put some lights in. Now, this game, we are starting in the 1930s. It's January 1930, and I love the look of this. I love the music of this game. I feel like it definitely gives the vibes I think they were aiming for. It's so good. Okay, we got some lights in. I love how they're like little dangly ceiling lights just kind of blopping down there. We have a generator. I don't know if we need a generator, so I'm going to skip that one for now. Reporting accessories, we need to give our little guys a globe. If they've got a globe on their desk, they're better at reporting about kind of world events there. Now, we also need some other things. So telegraphing stations are how we find out about what stories are happening. So we're going to need some telegraphing stations so that we know what's up, what's up in the world. And since we've got 2 reporters, we'll get 2 of those. And then the typesetting desk is the person who's going to type up the report from the reporters, and then the assembly is how they're going to be putting together the news. I'm going to leave a bit of space, hopefully, so we can fit in another one at some point, but we'll have to see about that. Now, just kind of going through here, we're going to need things like a printer page module when we start printing. We're going to need resupply desks, sweeping stations, washing stations, and a workbench to make sure our building's not falling apart. But I think let's try to get out our first week of paper, and then we'll add a floor and hopefully get these things on the 3rd floor. We can also put some decorations in. That makes people happier at work. So if we give those a clock to the reporters, also give a clock to these guys. I guess a clock over there as well. They are not very happy though. So you can see that around these desks, it's noisy. So we are able to put in an acoustic panel, and that gets rid of the noise. So you can see that the yellow there is because it's noisy, but we can put an acoustic panel in and it goes back to green. Now, our employees do want to be happy at work, so we do kind of need to make sure we have those things. Let's put a sink also into our bathroom. Not that we've got the bathroom set up yet, but at some point we will. And there's the sink that we'll need for the bathroom. Let's put a small fan in there. A fan will help deal with the smell of the bathroom, as would an air vent, so we'll get both of those going into the washroom. We'll put some tiles on the wall in the washroom, although we're still looking for the actual washroom, aren't we? Employee needs, here we go, we've got the toilet, it can go in there. Now, the toilet does cause smell, but that's okay because we put the fence in, so we're keeping that out. A water cooler is for our employees' needs as well. They're going to need to stay hydrated if they're going to be doing their jobs efficiently. And then, of course, we've got our printers. So, in our printers, we need an input module to be putting kind of our stories in. We need an output module to get our story out. And we need a printer page module for each page that we're going to have, so we can stick that in. And then we need a printer belt to get one thing from here over to the next thing. There we go. And now we can go in, go through, print another page, and then go there. And later we can expand this so we can have more than just one page. But at the moment, just the one page. And now it's blinking at us because we need employees. So if we go over to the hiring tab, we can start looking at who we want. Now I want 2 reporters, and I want them to be good at different things. So the little chevrons show that they've got a skill in it, which means these are not the best reporters in the world. Ernest has a skill in politics, and so does Douglas. And we don't necessarily need 2 reporters right now who can cover the same things. We want to kind of have a variation, I think, to start. So we could get Helen. She's good at entertainment, society, and sports. Those are the things she'll cover. Ernest will cover crime, entertainment, and politics. They both do entertainment. Or we've got economy, society, and sports. and we've got crime, economy, and politics. So it looks like if we don't want to have any overlap, we should be getting Steve and Ernest. So let's grab Steve and bring him to this desk, and Ernest and bring him to this desk, and they are ready to work. Now we're also going to need some production people, and these are not the best production people I've ever seen. So typesetting, he's got a point there. So which one's our typesetting desk? That's this one. So let's give him a spot there because he's good at typesetting. She's good at assembling, so oh no, not she. Bernard is good at assembling, so we'll stick him over here. And Philip is good at telegraphing, so we can give him there. And I guess we'll just get Clara. She doesn't have any skills, anything, but she'll learn on the job. That's fine. Let's stick her in as well. Now these two are immediately going to look for a story, and we can help decide what kind of stories they should be looking for. But at the moment, we don't have any specific goals, but we could be like, hey, prioritize researching for crime stories or entertainment stories or politics stories, and then they would do that. But at the moment, we're not fussed by that. We just need a story. Because we need to get our reporters out in action. They need to be going and finding us our story. Otherwise, we are not going to have anything here to report on. And of course, we need to put our newspaper out on Sunday. Now, if that noise said that we had our very first story, so we've got a Capitol fire. Oh my goodness, Capitol fire. So outside the US Capitol, there was a fire, or there was a damaged office. So we get to choose which path we want to take. Now, if we send, so this is a society story, this is a politics story. You can see the little markers there. We could send Steve to go cover the society because he's got a good point in society. But Ernest has a point in politics. So either one would be good, but we can't do both. So having sent Steve there meant he can't go and do that story now. But there is another one over here, and we have to get a ticket. The deadliest aviation accident in the US. We have to choose how they're going to travel there. And the more money we spend, the faster they're going to get there. So we could buy him a plane ticket. It's going to take 12 hours less for him to get to where he needs to go. Because he's going all the way over to California over here. So let's send Steve over. Now, again, we have two choices. But since we only have Steve, oh no. We don't have anyone who can go and actually do this, because Steve is the one who's already reporting. He's got 6 more hours remaining on his report, which means we do have a reporter just sitting around. So we chose poorly. But we can, I suppose, just wait 3 hours. Then he has to go deliver his story to our building. And then once he's done delivering the story, we'll be able to send him out. So let's just tick time on a little bit. But Sunday morning, it's already time to roll the presses. But I do think that means we are not actually going to have a story available for us this week. So if we come back into here, currently we've got someone who is typesetting our story that was brought. And we've got someone over here at the assembly table assembling it. Well, they will assemble it once they've got something to assemble. He's just shoved his rubbish on the ground. We're going to need to grab him a garbage can because obviously typesetting is messy work and he's just thrown that on the ground. So let's give him a trash can there. We're also going to need someone to actually just be cleaning up the mess, but we're not also going to be getting anybody today. We're not getting a newspaper out this week, so that means we're not going to be getting any money this week. It's our last chance. We have to print now. Unfortunately, we have no stories finished, so there's none of these that could be dragged over. But we do have 3 stories that we're working on at the moment, but nothing that's finished enough to be able to put onto our newspaper. So we'll just continue time on. We're not going to be printing this week. Of course, we did start on Friday, which didn't give us a lot of time to get to Sunday. So we just had to pay our employees, not a big deal. Now, we can on this page, so this is the map of New York here, we can select some districts and we want to get readership kind of in those districts. So they have different things that they're looking for. So over here in Wall Street, of course, they're interested in politics and the economy. Or we could look at Williamsburg, they're interested in crime and sports. And we've got over here in Bayonne, whatever this is, they're interested in society and entertainment. Now, we do have a society story in the drawer, but by next week, it will be old. The people won't want to read about it. It's going to be old news. But we'll select a district. I think it'd be good to get into Wall Street. Wall Street people have money, They're the bankers of the district, or of New York, so we're going to need some money. We've got paper. Do you also need a garbage can, sir? Now, there are new people we could be hiring each week, and we might want to get some cleaners this week. I need you to have a trash can so that you stop dropping your rubbish everywhere. I'm going to give you guys a trash can as well. They also have some noise and heat coming from this room. It's obviously very hot with the printers, so let's just stick some air vents in and possibly a small fan over here. And we need to put some acoustic panels up because it's noisy. The printer room is noisy. I mean, that makes sense. Although I'm surprised it's noisy when no one's working in there. That doesn't seem like it makes a lot of sense. We have found a new story though. So let's send Steve off to the local stables because he's got a bit of skill in the local stables one. And we've got a politics story. And we definitely need to get to the politics because that is what Wall Street is interested in. Right, this is saying that there's still a smell in here, so we may need to add some more things. We could add another fan, for example, mirror. So these are things that help counter the smell. So any of these things are fine. But we've got 2 fans, an event, and the mirror, plus the tiles in there, all counteracting the smell. And we no longer have that little warning. Although we do have a warning about his paper trash. But he has a garbage can, he just needs to use it. Silly goober. But perhaps it does mean it's time to get someone in here who can do some cleaning. Breaking news telegram. Unemployment rises. The unemployment numbers are out. Our Department of Labor says 1.5 million extra workers lost their jobs since the beginning of the recession with no end in sight. But hey, tragedy sells, right? All right, so that means we've got a news story here. We don't have anyone currently to send it. Steve is almost done though. He's just finishing up on his reporting there. So we're just going to give him a second. Then he just has to drop it off. So his hands are full. He's got the report. He's got to go drop it off. But this is breaking news. We only have 19 hours to take action on this story. Right, Steve is now done. We're going to send him off to the Department of Labor to go find out the scoop on this. All right, Ernest has also found another scoop, so we're going to send him over here to find out about crime. All right, we seem to be getting quite a lot of mess here. That garbage can is full. We don't have anyone doing cleaning yet, so I think we do need to get that. So if we go into our building, we need to find where our cleaners are. Utility, a sweeping station. Let's get a sweeping station, and then we're going to need to hire someone to come and do some cleaning. Eddie actually has a bit of sweeping skill, so we'll hire Eddie, and now we've got someone to clean up this paper, because they're going to get unhappy if they have all this paper lying about. Now, one of the things I do think we're going to need is, I think we need another reporter. So let's take a look and see which reporters are available. None of them have any skill, so it doesn't really matter who we get. So let's get John Brown in. Come on in, John. And let's see if we have something for him to do. Yeah, John, you can come work on the clergy house over here. Or you can head into the town hall. Head into the clergy house, go over there. And I suppose once Steve is done with this one, we can send him over here. Now, this story, if we are able to break it, it's going to give us educational, but it's also going to give us 4 influence points. So we definitely want someone reporting on that. So now we've got 2 people kind of working on this case, which is great. And we've got people coming back with stories, and our telegraphers can start looking for new stories again. There we go, we've got a new story coming in. New factories opening, and we can send Ernest off to go look at the factory canteen over here. Of course, he can't do the economy because he doesn't have any economy skill, but he does have political skill. And it says assembly line work is too repetitive for him. 2,500 new jobs for Washington families, says the mayor. So we're going to go find out all about that. We've got a lot of stories coming in. Our typesetter guy, his desk is piling up with work for him to do. So we may almost need another one to go and help him out. But in Washington, the boxing phenomenon stops. We've got someone who needs to come report on Steve. Let's send John over to go report on this sports. Boxing phenomenon stops. Bare Knuckle Jones retires at age 38. Can you imagine retiring at age 38? How delightful. And Ernest can go find out about plagiarism as an entertainment story. Teacher claims hit novel Back to the Chalkboard is copy of her life. Ooh. Now, we've got tons of stories kind of on the go here, so you can see over on the side here just kind of how many stories we've got. But 3 of these are old news. So these ones with the red, no one cares about anymore. So if we did print these in our paper, people would be less interested. Because it's not interesting, is it? It's old news. Now, we have a low supply of paper it's blinking at me. So we may need to get in a shelf and order some paper. I'm not sure what happens if we don't have paper, but it doesn't seem like it'd be very good. So let's get that in a storage cabinet, and then we can come in here, we can order paper. And then this lovely building will come in, and he's gonna drop off our paper, and we can come in and bring it and put it on the shelf. Now, you can hire someone to do this, but for now, let's just do it ourselves. There we go. The other thing that we need to keep watch on is how much water is in the water cooler, so we can always order more. Right, time to roll the presses. So we come over to printing, and we've got some stories. Oh no, this one's not done. But this one's going to be so good, it is worth 4 prestige points. It's not finished until Monday, which I think is going to make it old news, which is a bit unfortunate. But we do have 3 stories that are not old news that we can stick in. So we've got the horse virus outbreak, which is a little bit of a society story. We've got an economy story, and we've got a crime story. Now, that doesn't cover what we need, because we needed to do an economy story and a politics story. We don't currently have a politics story, but there's a politics story here, but it doesn't finish until 4:12. I mean, what time is it now? Do we have time to wait for that? Yes, okay, so that new factory is now open. Let's get rid of the crime story. We'll put that one in. This is our last chance, but we finish Wall Street by studying these 2. We only have the 1 page at the moment, and we can start the printing here. So that is sent off to the printers. There we go. It's running through. The horse virus outbreak. 4,000 papers sold. Money, and who makes the rules? So we get 2 influence points on that one. And we've covered our district there. Now we managed to sell 4,000 papers, which means we made a little bit of profit. Just the tiniest amount of profit. But Wall Street is happy now. And we get our influence on our first try success bonus over here in Wall Street. But we're not exactly making much money here. Oh, but he's now leveled up into a junior typesetter. And we've covered a district, so now we can look at moving into other districts. So there's West New York and East Village here. But we might want to... I mean, that has 3 people. That's a lot of readership. Let's go into Williamsburg, though. Sports and crime. Worst case scenario, we use old stories. But sports and crime is what we're going to try to get this week. I've ordered a box of food. And the box of food just makes sure that our water cooler stays filled with something. Now, we're a little low on space, and we're a little low on money. So oh, the new floor is 2,500. Oh, the first one only cost 1,000. Right, are you guys looking for stories? Right, we need a sports story and a crime story. Oh, well, we did find a sports story from before, and it actually unlocks an item for us. We want sports and crime, so I'm going to prioritize those 2 things. And we found a police car exploded on the main road. Ooh, okay, so all the way over in Los Angeles, police cars exploded. Let's send Steve on the case because he's got an extra point there. So he's going to be really good at it. Now, this might be worth investigating. He's going to go take a look and find out what he can find out. And with that weather story, we did unlock a new item, which was boxing gloves. And boxing gloves actually give us up our sports level. So we can be like, hey, be better at sports. Also, you need a globe. Who is our sports writer, though? John, are you a sports writer? He does do sports, so that's fine. Do you do sports? No, so you don't need boxing gloves. Right, a new story over here, an entertainment story. So we need to unlock this story to find the key to come unlock this story. So let's send Ernest over here and 2 influence points for this story. So that's very good, if we can get it in our paper. Right, new action possible. So he's finished that, gathering information at the police station. Now we can either go off to here or down to here. So at the Los Angeles Police Office or damage the Los Angeles Police Station. I don't have a reporter currently who's able to do anything with that information, though, so we're just going to fast forward time a little bit here. And Ernest is now available, and he can come do either of these. Now, we did need crime story, so let's send him go to the crime side. And we've gotten the key, which means we've unlocked this story, so let's send a good sports writer down here. John, go find out about mini golf. Plans miniature golf for empty theaters, miniature golf growing in popularity fast. It's quite the interesting news story. All right, everybody's busy with their work here. We've got some new stories coming in. We've got some new things we need to go investigate out here. Ernest, come find out about murder on the loose. Local town scared. Suspect is hiding in the forest. Seems dangerous, but you go investigate that. We've got another crime story here, but we don't have any more crime people. Oh, crime at the Capitol. Whoa. Right, we are coming up on the end of the week, though. And that means we need to make sure we have finished stories. Now we've got 4 old news stories. We may have to use an old news story this week. I mean, it wouldn't be the worst to use this one, actually, because it does have 4 influence points. It has a lot of these little badges. And we did do a lot of work to get this story, which is kind of the unfortunate thing. If you don't find a story early enough in the week, it just becomes old news because you don't get it into your paper in time. But also, I guess if we did have more typesetters and more assembly tables, this process would speed up a bit as well. They have a lot of paper on the floor up here. We may need to get them a garbage bin. It's just paper everywhere up there. This place is a disaster. You guys are a mess. It's time to roll the presses. So we need to see what stories we can use. Now, this one is finished, which is great because it's got 2 influence points and it's entertainment and sports. It covers the sports we need. We also need a crime story. Now we just get this crime story finished. Police car explodes on main road. We've done Williamsburg then, and we need another story, but nothing's finished here, and these are all old news. But we're gonna stick this one in anyways because it's a very good old news story. So that's giving us a lot of bonuses. So let's start the presses here. Oh, record sales for our newspaper. Almost 12,000 newspapers sold. Excellent. And we got Williamsburg, and of course we got it on our first try here, so we get a little bonus. And look, there we go, a bit more up there. Ooh, and 3 people have leveled up, which is great. Steve, for week 2. Or month 2, I guess. It's a month, not a week. 2 months in a row, he's leveling up. Now, what have we got? A mafia hideout here. The Shrouded Prelude. Print no politics this week, and the mafia will be happy for us. But they're going to have to be happy for us in the next episode because we are out of time for today. If you're enjoying News Tower and you want to see more, please let me know, and maybe we'll make this as a small running series. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.